What is up, superstars? Guys, we are doing a Starseed Navigational updated report. It is currently 11:47 on February 10th, 2026. I was going to get on here earlier, but I decided to really take some time to tend to my self-care and then clean out my room and just get myself situated, but also do a bit of research, right? This update is such a beautiful, expansive one because I have been divinely guided to dive deeper into the astronomical aspect of astrology, right? And now, guys, I'm always gonna put the Schumann resonance, I'm always gonna put the solar flares, I'm always gonna put the coronal mass holes that we see in the sun, I'm always gonna put the moon cycles, right? However, we have been mainly tapping into tropical energy, right? Tropical zodiac or tropical astrological energy. We haven't touched base on the other aspects of astrology and astronomy. So I'm gonna just give you guys a rundown, and this, once again, divinely guided, and that also tells me that there is a major shift happening in a collective. I mean, we can tell by the Schumann resonance. Hold on, let me pull it up. The Schumann resonance is really, oh my goodness, like the energies today is, I want to say insane, but it's not even insane in a bad way. It's insane as in it's time to shift again, but in a eighth dimensional type of way, right? We always talk about the 3D, which is the physical realm. We talk about the 5D, which is the spiritual realm, the ethers, the astral realm, right? But then when we get a bit higher to the eighth dimensional realm, we're also tapping into the universal dimension of what time is. And time is really a construct. We use time to measure so many things that the human brain can't possibly comprehend unless it was completely unlocked, right? It's giving Lucy, right? And guys, I'm going to be channeling while I do this, and I'm not going to take too long on this one, but guys, follow me, no, subscribe to my YouTube. There's Mia Rosilia, and then I have my Superstar Oracle YouTube. My Superstar Oracle YouTube, I will be posting more in-depth analysis to the Starseed Navigational updates, right? It's going to be more about digging into the fine details of what divine timing really looks like from the astronomical aspect, right? But getting back to what I was mentioning as far as having the in-depth aspect of exploring the three different type of astrological breakdowns. We have our tropical, which everyone knows it's 12 seasons. I mean, not 12 seasons. Oh my goodness. It's 12 zodiac signs, right? And they're based on the seasons, right? Our tropical zodiacs or tropical astrology is based on the seasons. We have, our fire signs, our earth signs, our air signs, our water signs, right? And Aries starts the spring, right? And then Pisces ends the winter, right? It's from Aries to Pisces. Then we have our sidereal zodiac or sidereal astrological charts that include the 13th sign, which is, I hope I don't butcher this, Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus? Guys, that is the serpent bearer, right? That's when we add the 13th sign into the whole aspect of things, right? Now, the sidereal astrology is really based on fixed stars, right? It doesn't go according to the seasons. It goes according to the constellations in the sky, right? Or what is subjectively in the sky, where the planets are currently lined up in the sky. And this is based on karma and destiny, right? And we're going to get into all of this throughout this video, and I might do a part 2 for this video, so please stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channels, especially the Superstar Oracle, if you want to see more of the Superstar Starseed Navigational reports, right? Then we have our astronomical astrology, which is based on actual constellations that are in the physical sky above our eyes, right? Ooh, bars. And this is based on science. It's less about symbolism and it's more about science and where the planets are actually lined up, right? And so I just kind of want to quickly break down the astronomical astrology. We talk about what is happening, right? The raw data layer to astrology. This is raw data, like you can grab a telescope and look up in the sky and you'll see certain stars, constellations, the moon shifting, the sun shifting, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Uranus, Saturn, right? Pluto. You'd see more asteroids, right? This is mainly going to show us the frequencies that are physically present around Earth. Now, our sidereal astrology is going to tell us why this matters karmically, right? This is our soul memory layer, right? This is what our soul remembered through lifetimes, right? And I'm going to get into like quantum physics at some point in metaphysics, but let's get into the fact that if we all are from one conscious mind or consciousness period, right? Life, the brain is literally like the way we maintain consciousness is through air. We all collectively live on air. If we don't have air, we are not consciously here. Collectively, I'm just saying, right? So it's how we move on a soul memory layer when it comes to sidereal astrology. And that means we are all connected. There have been certain patterns and cycles that the collective beings have gone through, right? We're going to talk about collective lessons, destiny themes, and long, I don't know what I wrote there. It's okay though. Long-term lessons, excuse me. Long-term lessons that are being activated in humanity right now. Then we have our tropical astrology. We spoke on tropical. Tropical is typically where I reside with all of my astrology. However, we are shifting. We are ever growing. This is just what it is. This is where it's at 11:55 as I say this. So if you are still watching and if you're in my collective, and I know the ones that are in my collective, you guys are extremely expansive. You guys are extremely eccentric. You are beautiful, magical beings, and yous are always open to learn, and I love that about you guys. And I love that yous always like let me know that I give you confirmations or like messages resonate, right? Whether it be with this or whether it be with tarot, right? Whatever it may be, whether it be a channeled message, it just resonates. So I'm gonna keep like doing this, and I want to help us to really shift in a multi-dimensional way, right? Tropical astrology, how it shows up in human behavior, right? This is how people feel and react and express. This is our human behavioral layer, right? So we have astronomical clock, right? The astronomical aspect of astrology tells us the exact timing. The sidereal clock shows us what it means across lifetimes. And the tropical clock shows us the lived experience right now. Now, superstars, I know that this whole video has been me just breaking down this kind of information, but I think it's really important you watch this video first, and I'm gonna even say type it in the beginning of this video, right? I'm gonna have like in bold words like, hey, watch this first before you watch the next update, because the next update we're gonna just jump right into it. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm just gonna go full force into what it is that I see, what it is that I feel, what I've learned, and then my findings and where we may be at regarding timing on a universal level versus timing on personal levels, right? So, you know, put yourself where you fit and receive the information open-minded, but also make sure you take notes, right? This is important for our growth. So let's do this shit. So stay tuned for part 2. Superstar Starseeds, this is the Navigational Report Part 2. Go watch Part 1 so you can kind of see where we're at with the energies and where we're at with the information. This is going to be something that is extremely in-depth. This is so informative that I had to just kind of redo a bit of what I was doing. So it doesn't matter because it's 12/18 on February 11th, 2026. And we're tapping into the current energy, starting with the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance, guys, like around, what is that, 9 p.m., February 10th, right? This is when we started to see a lot more activity, right? This is what I love to call Christ consciousness. And when we say Christ consciousness, we mean like walking in truth, walking in purpose as the alchemist, as the master manifester, right? It means embodying what God embodies and what God has for us to receive, right? Christ consciousness is really standing in truth as the alchemist, as the healer, as the master manifester, the one who takes action, the one who is community based, the person who decides to stand up in truth and stand for that and fight for that, the activist, the spiritual gangster. You hear me? This is what we're talking about. This is the expansion. And looking at the Schumann resonance, y'all, around 9 p.m. is when it started to get extremely, 9 p.m. February 10th, it started to get extremely active, right? Christ consciousness activated like that. It was like, yo, y'all in the building, and everyone's like, and yeah, we in the building, right? Now, if we look at how potent this kind of energy is, we'll see that it really, it maintains the amount of and this is energetic force, right? This is Earth's frequencies. This is the frequencies that come from the magnetosphere within Earth. The magnetosphere is our ozone layer. And a lot of the Schumann resonance, the frequencies are recorded from the lightning on the outside of our layer that hits the magnetosphere, that causes the Earth to charge up with energy, right? And sometimes this can also be impacted by solar flares from the sun. I see up until damn near like 10 a.m. and even like, because there's a little, we call that timeline jumps. There's been a shift. When you see a black slit like that, we call that the radio blackout. That's when the different radios, that the satellites that really keep track of what's going on Earth and around the solar system, right? It keeps track of like any, I don't know, asteroids, any weather anomalies, just the space weather, period, right? It keeps track of that. And so with all of this energy coming in, it really goes to show, and we're going to tap into the tropical elements soon. Let me just get into the solar flares, because I just started to think I should start talking about the zodiacs. Let's get into the solar flares after this. This kind of energy is grounds for ascensions, right? So you may experience some symptoms like fatigue or oversleeping, or maybe you're not as hungry as you were before, or maybe you are hungry, right? It can go either way. Our body moves how it moves. You use this information based on how your body moves, right? You could feel very energized to get things done, right? You could feel called to isolate and pull back your energy so that you preserve it for this expansion, because you're going to need it, right? You could feel called to really be more authentic too, standing in your truth, because all this light energy is really grounds for expansion on the soul level. It's cleansing out our auric field. The conscious mindset is raising. Conscious perspectives are raising, right? And the ones who don't see that raising, that's because they have been stuck in a space where they haven't allowed themselves to release what's going on with the past, what's going on in the negative aspects, and allow themselves to expand and receive what is due, which is justice, right? And speaking on justice, we're going to hold things accountable. 444, as I stop the clock. Holding people accountable, Representative Khanna and Massey, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, just put on blast the redacted names from the Epstein files. 6 billionaires. And I suggest you guys go check that out, because that goes to show you that things will come to the light when it is time to come to the light. And it's been brought to the light and it's being spoken on. And those people who were named in those files need to go in front of the judge and the jury and get that accountability slip in their hand, so they can really hold that down and stop the fuckery. We're not moving on, El Presidente. We're not moving on from what you guys did. Okay, I'm gonna keep it right there. We're getting back into the report, okay? You know, the solar flares are really, I almost called them mid, but it is kind of mid, right? We tap into the M flares, right? And the M flares are typically grounds for just a bit of intensity, right? I'd say when it comes to M flares, if we look at it from the scientific standpoint, they can cause a bit of radio blackouts, like I was telling you guys with the Schumann resonance. You see that black line that's missing, it's just all blacked out and you don't see no color, right? That's because there's been a blackout. One of the satellites couldn't pick up the information properly because of it could be radiation, it could be maybe the solar winds were driving it really quickly. And looking at the coronal holes, right, I really do see there is grounds for one coronal mass ejection to come towards Earth. Coronal mass ejections typically shoot extreme amounts of solar radiation towards Earth. It's like a powerful, powerful wave that hits the magnetosphere and can cause weather anomalies, right? And our sun has been moving and acting and reacting to Earth in such a different way, honestly, and the Earth has been reacting to the sun in a different way. We say winters are colder. Well, I mean, the thing is, the sun is getting hotter. The sun is lighting up even more. The sun has had so much activity these past 2 years, and that's because it's a divine timing type of thing. And we're going to get into the astrological aspects of this. But before we get into that, let's touch base on our moon. Waning crescent moon. This waning crescent moon is calling for us to release. It's calling for us to surrender, forgive, seek closure, seek rest, spiritual reset, right? This is the sacred exhale before the rebirth. And currently, the zodiac signs. We're going to stay focused on the sun and the moon. For the tropical astrology for this, right? We're going to stay focused on the sun and the moon. Tropical astrology. Our sun in Aquarius, right? Innovation, individuality, community, future focused visions. You guys could be expanding in such a personable way. Like your inner world is shifting into the new you. It's about who you are deciding to become, right? And with the moon being in Sagittarius, it's giving curiosity and freedom to step into that new version of yourself, right? It's really saying, I dare myself to go and do the things that I once thought I couldn't do, right? The sidereal, the sun is in Capricorn, right? And with Capricorn, it's really based on structure and discipline, responsibility, long-term goals, right? Longevity and practical mastery. So a lot of you on the personal level, yes, but in karma period, right? What you're experiencing in your, stopped at 858, what you're experiencing in your universal circumstances, right? The karma and the destiny, what you can be experiencing is challenges to your structure. Let's be mindful. Saturn is in Aries, so that is automatic. Are you the captain or not in your life, right? And with the sidereal moon still in Sagittarius, we're seeking spiritual depth. It's really about instinctive optimism. It's about learning life through experience. This can be experiencing new ways to gain money or understand your money, understand yourself. The astronomical version of this, I mean, the sun is in Capricornus and the moon is in Scorpius, but it's like cusping Ophiuchus, right? We'll get into that in a different video. Freak it. I'm gonna do a part 3, guys. Once again, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Mia Rosilia, and then at Mia's Vibes, which is the Superstar Oracle. I'm gonna have to put that on here. I remembered I didn't do that in the first video, so I'm gonna make sure I put that up here, right? But guys, this has been extended to 3 parts, and I typically never do 3 parts on my Starseed navigational reports. So this is how I know this is going to be such a deep analysis of what the present times are looking like, and I think this would be better suited on a platform like YouTube, where the video you can watch it up to however many hours I decide I want it to be. So either way, I'll still have like some content here. I'm gonna just have to figure it out, guys. Y'all let me know what you guys think, right? Should I like do short form where it's like this, and then okay, here's the rundown of the zodiacs, or like, you know what? Let's chat it out. Let's get through part 3 first, and then we'll figure it out together. Picking up from the tropical, the sidereal, and the astronomical layers of divine timing. The tropical sun in Aquarius is really showing us the collective identity and the future vision that we are on stage for. I just thought about the Bad Bunny concert. You know, I seen a lot of posts around social media where it's like, you know, we can be celebrating this, and it's cool, but it's like all this stuff going on in the world that's being exposed. It's like, is this a distraction? And I want to say certain things can be distractions, but what we seen Bad Bunny do was really put in a spiritual cleansing ritual through music and celebration, right? Cultural celebration, celebration of the origins and the roots of America, period. And yeah, it was all in Spanish. What do you fucking do? That's the second native language here in America. So what are we talking about? Anyway, what we've seen happen is the celebration of life regardless of what is currently going on, because at the end of the day, justice will prevail. But it's about dancing in the rain. Sometimes it's going to downpour on your parade, but what will you do with that moment? Will you allow that rain to ruin your mood, ruin your parade, or will you use that rain as a celebration of abundance? And I think of water as like it's an overflowing state. It's emotional. Water is depth. Water is something to be celebrated, right? Because water is one of our greatest resources, period. We need water, right? So it's like, are you going to allow that to rain on your parade? Are you going to allow that to stop you from enjoying and embracing life, right? Now, with that being said, with our future visions, and this is on a personal level, right? Tropicals relating to our seasonal psychology, our human experience and emotional expression. With the tropical sun in Aquarius and the tropical moon in Sagittarius, the emotions that are seeking meaning, the openness, the adventure, it is time to allow the shift, allow the new to set in, right? No more holding back. And the thing is, the ones who have been doing the work, you guys are full throttle into this. There may be people around you who are not full throttle into this, and they are resisting doing the work. The work still has to get done. But the thing is, it is not your responsibility to do the work for others. Others have to put in that work. You lead by example, which is kind of connecting into the sidereal, right? The sidereal sun in Capricorn, deep karmic work, right? This is around structures and discipline. It's time to be disciplined with our minds and focus up. I've seen this one video of the guy in the airport, and like he's saying everything about these Epstein files, and people are just walking around like zombies, and you know, they were talking about energetic vampires, and it's like, this is the truth. Even if you don't see zombies the way you see them in movies, it doesn't stop what the meaning of a zombie is. It is someone that is unconscious but walking around, roaming unconsciously. There is no true life force in the mind. They are just doing what they instinctively feel like they should do on a physical, cardinal level. Is it cardinal? Carnival? Carnival. No. Carnivore. Carnival cruise. I don't know why I just got that. Carnival cruise did have like that. There were so many people that ended up drinking water, and it looked like it was from like a septic tank, which is crazy. I don't know why that had to get brought up. Health is like such an important thing right now. Health is wealth. That's the discipline. The discipline is around the structured behaviors for health: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. We're moving into a regime of wellness. Wellness is everything right now. People are waking up to what wellness truly means. And now, if we're looking at the sidereal moon in Sagittarius, it's the emotional growth tied to spiritual exploration. People are going out learning more. They want to know more about these herbs, medicinal ways that ancient civilizations utilized to help them to heal, to grow, right? The natural resources versus the artificial. We don't want artificial anymore. We want the natural. We never really wanted artificial, but artificial was put in front of us, right? Artificial was put in front of us to distract us from the real, to get us away from the natural, so that those natural resources can be taken. The Schumann resonance was spiked for a reason. Did I put the Schumann? Guys, I don't think I put the Schumann resonance in the previous video or the solar flares. I'm like getting this information out, so I think I'm just going to drop them right now so you can see them. While this is on the screen rolling, I'm just going to give you a bit of origin on the astronomical aspect, because the sun is in Capricornus and the moon is in Scorpius, but it's also in Ophiuchus, right? When I checked the Sky Tonight app, it was in Scorpius, but I also seen it was like cusping Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is right there with it, right? So Capricorn, Capricornus, this origin from Babylonian times, really represents the god of water, creation, and wisdom, depicted as a half goat, half fish creature, right? Greek mythology, you'll know it as the god Pan, the Greek god Pan, transformed into a fish-tailed goat, right? Symbolism here is the just being the horned goat, and cornucopia, the horn of plenty, right? I want to point that out, the horn of plenty. So the thing is, there's so much abundance in this time, right? Because there's so much wisdom to be gained. And if we're looking at, I just closed it out, Ophiuchus origins. This is the serpent bearer, right? In Greek mythology, representing the healer, Asclepius, who is the son of Apollo, he learned to resurrect the dead from a serpent, right? Prompting Zeus to place him in the stars to prevent chaos, right? He was concerned about the balance of life because people were trying to, he learned how to resurrect the dead. And with the serpent and Asclepius, right, the resurrection of the dead and the symbolism of this really symbolizes the connection to medicine, right, and the rod of Asclepius. Connection to medicine and the wisdom. We're in the wellness, so many, first off, we have so many healers coming out healing people with proper nutrition and medicinal herbs. The age of Aquarius is something so expansive, but technology isn't the only thing that's expanding. It's the consciousness on how to use the resources that we hold. Rather than allowing technology to use our resources, we use our resources.